My name's Alex, and I've seen my fair share of strange things working as a pizza delivery guy. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened on that fateful night. It was past midnight when I received an order for 22 Maple Street. The rain was coming down in sheets, and the wind howled like a chorus of lost souls as I navigated the deserted streets of the city. I should have taken it as a sign to turn back, but the promise of a hefty tip kept me going. Pulling up to 22 Maple Street sent shivers down my spine. The house loomed like a specter in the darkness, its windows boarded up and its facade covered in graffiti. But hunger and the promise of cash spurred me on. Approaching the door, I hesitated for a moment, a knot of fear tightening in my chest. But I pushed it aside and knocked, the sound echoing through the silence like a death knell. The door swung open without a sound, revealing a dimly lit interior cloaked in shadows. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely louder than a whisper. "Pizza delivery?" There was no response, just an eerie silence that seemed to swallow me whole. With a sense of dread gnawing at my insides, I stepped inside, the musty smell of decay assaulting my senses. The house was a maze of dark corridors and creaking floorboards, each step echoing in the emptiness. I followed the flickering light to the kitchen, where a single table was set for two. Sitting at the table were two figures, their faces hidden in the shadows. They beckoned for me to join them, their voices a low, sinister whisper that sent shivers down my spine. I hesitated, my hand trembling as I set the pizza down on the table. The figures reached for the box, their movements slow and deliberate. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, their faces emerged from the darkness, twisted masks of decay and madness, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. With a scream of terror, I turned and fled, the sound of my own footsteps mingling with the figures' haunting laughter. But they were faster, their steps echoing in the empty house as they chased me down. I ran for my life, my heart pounding in my chest as I struggled to escape the clutches of my pursuers. But no matter how fast I ran, they were always right behind me, their smiles growing wider with each passing moment. In a last desperate bid for survival, I stumbled upon a hidden passage leading to the basement. With nowhere else to turn, I descended into the darkness, hoping against hope that it would lead me to safety. But as I reached the bottom, I realized the horrifying truth. The basement was not a sanctuary, but a chamber of horrors, filled with strange symbols and occult artifacts. And standing at the center of it all were the figures, their smiles more sinister than ever, as they closed in for the kill. With nowhere left to run, I braced myself for the inevitable, knowing that I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than a simple pizza delivery. But just when all hope seemed lost, I spotted a small window near the ceiling, its glass cracked but still intact. With a surge of adrenaline, I leaped for it, smashing through the glass and tumbling out into the night. I landed hard on the ground outside, my body battered but alive. As I struggled to my feet, I knew one thing for certain. I would never work as a delivery guy again. Some jobs just weren't worth the risk, especially when the horrors of the night lurked behind every door.